Right now, there's a group of investigators helping keep Indiana kids safe online. In fact, just this week, we were telling you how this task force helped investigate a former Scecina high school coach accused of editing former students' faces onto the bodies of naked women. Tonight, our Rachel Krause shows us how they're protecting kids and why their workload has been spiking in recent years.
Behind all the texting, posting, and sharing happening on your child's devices every day, there's a team working to ensure any potential threats or exploitation of kids online are fully investigated. That's where the Indiana Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force comes in.
The biggest part of what our ICAC does is trying to rescue children, trying to stop them from victimizing themselves, and also try to stop people who are having sexual contact with a child.
But tracking down predators online and protecting kids from sharing things they shouldn't isn't always simple. First Sergeant Chris Cecil, Indiana ICAC Task Force Commander, says new technology, new apps, and sites make it hard to keep up.
And with technology, law enforcement's always behind. We're always trying to learn what the latest and greatest thing is. And a lot of us, we have our own kids and we hear from our kids what kids are using. But at the end of the day, we're always behind.
And the number of cyber tips coming into ICAC are skyrocketing. In 2008, there were 405 cyber tips coming in. 10 years later, there are more than 3,500. In 2021, that number spiked to over 7,500. And last year, more than 14,000 cyber tips were reported. Everything from potential abuse to a child facing immediate harm.
The hair on your back of your neck is raising, and you're reviewing through that tip pretty quickly.
And so far this year, they've gotten more than 2,600 tips to investigate. Cecil says it can be hard to keep up.
It is. The people that I supervise and then the other agencies who comprise of the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, they have unmanageable amounts of work to kind of go through and look at.
Part of that increased demand, Cecil says, started when more kids were home in 2020 during the early days of the pandemic. But even with kids back in class, these increased tips and potential threats on Hoosier kids aren't going away.
No, it's not.
It's why he and his entire team are so passionate about doing everything they can to find predators lurking online and get them off of the streets so they can keep kids safe.
But at the end of the day, when you rescue a child, you know you did good work.
So, Rachel, what can parents do at home right now to prevent these kinds of crimes from even happening in the first place?
Yeah, well, First Sergeant Cecil says that you want to go ahead and monitor apps, devices, and the social media accounts that your child is using and check them regularly. You want to know who they're talking to online and sit them down and have really open and honest discussions with them about what's okay to post and what's okay to share and what isn't.
Yeah, that communication is so important. Rachel, thanks so much.